Hey everyone, it's Sphere System here. First real video. This is a intro to the system. So hey, let's get started. I suppose. Yeah. Okay. All right. Brief bit about our history. We've known about the system for maybe a year, possibly a little bit less than that. Timelines are difficult for us, unsurprisingly. Uh, Yeah. Okay. We kind of know Brain has always argued with whoever's in front, like basically forever. As far back as we can remember, near enough. One of the few things we can actually put any real memory to is having arguments with Brain. So yeah. And it took at least times learning about the existence of systems for us to figure out that we're a system. In large part because first time around, Brain decided that we knew too much and were figuring too much out, and just cut off our TikTok, which is where we were finding out about systems at the time. Cut all our interest in TikTok, and so we dropped it all before we figured anything out. Basically, yeah, Brain's like that sometimes. Okay, right, yeah. Who do we know in the system? Well, okay, we'll go. So there's Dwy, guess by he, they, was the host a while back, has mostly left front now since we got somewhere safer. Doi has gone, okay, cool, I'm not needed as host anymore. Oh, that was a mistake. No, you want to go back to this one. Okay, got Brain, who we mentioned earlier, Dave Adams, he's a primary gatekeeper, does a lot to control what memory access there is in front, and Kokon positions as well as almost always in Kokon for fronting, and is generally, trying to be helpful and protective of the system, but that can be through hiding useful information, potentially useful information for long-term healing for the sake of short-term stability. Uh, we've got Cal, who, yeah, that's me. Hey, so I'm Cal, the one who's out in the minute. Go by he, they. It's looking reasonably likely that I'm the new host. Not certain at this point, though. But I'm out a lot at the minute and seem to have most of the skills needed for daily normal life. So, yeah. Although a large part of that is fed information, it's in our front access memory. So it's not like a lot of those skills are just front access memory skills. So not necessarily me specifically, as much as part of the file Brain's put together for front access stuff, for front accessible. You've got the Gramps, uh, he, him, Vampire, definitely, Wings, looking like the other potential for a host, um, possible at the minute, somewhat useful. He actually goes by the same gender markers as the body is generally viewed as, which, has its advantages, especially when trying to keep a single persona up, and is most happy to dress formally, which also has its uses, especially when work is involved. We've got Stabby, can't pull pronouns at the minute for Stabby. Probably, there are probably correct pronouns for Stabby, but they're not available in front, so who knows. Stabby is a persecutor protector role, takes on a persecutor protector role. Good with knives, which it would be useful. Well, the rest of us need to learn because someone was out cooking a few days ago and sliced our thumb open because they weren't paying attention when using a knife. And Stabby is annoyed at all of us for that because, yeah, injured the body for no good reason, doing something that there is enough knowledge to know how to do better. We've got empty, again, pronouns currently inaccessible. Empty's a shell. Not to say empty doesn't have more to them than just being empty, but yeah, they take on a shell role where the empty will heavily influence whoever else is in front, whoever is co-conning with empty, and put an awful lot of empathy into it, which has its uses from a survival perspective in some cases when our depression, the non-apathetic kind, is playing up. Empty really helps with that. Admittedly, can make recovery harder and can make actually dealing with any emotions harder because just hide them behind empathy. But got us through some hard times, so not gonna criticize. That's for sure. Not too much, at least. We've got Crash and Burn. They're a subsystem together. Trauma holders. Very little known about either because not much information is allowed in front because Brain gatekeeps a lot of it away because trauma holders, and with minimal front access because of assumably lack of useful life skills or anything. Got Red Sphere, another trauma holder. Actually allowed some front access and not a huge amount, but allowed co-con at least, and can generally then pass knowledge gained from traumatic situations forwards, even if not, and you know, talk about the knowledge gained from traumatic situations, even if the actual memory of those traumatic situations isn't accessible. Still useful to a degree. You know, it's the closest we've got to trauma memory in front. So, like, there's things that can be pieced together from the knowledge gained. Okay, got Tech Savvy, goes by Comps. Comp is the tech wizard of the system. No, Comps knows how to work with technology a lot better than anyone else. And Comp will often be out when we're doing tech work in any form, at least CoCon, so that the system can actually do it, and something approaching a reasonable time scale and with a useful amount of accuracy and so on. Definitely being helpful with this whole YouTube thing, useful for coding projects for uni, generally just helpful sorting out Pluralkit on Discord and other bits and bobs, because modern life needs a certain amount of technology knowledge, so yeah, very helpful. Okay, Cymraeg goes by Drake. Just noticed a typo on the PowerPoint that we're currently recording from. Great. Should be Dreig for the second one, not D at the end. Drake is shell-ish. Translates for Welsh for us, which was useful growing up because Welsh is a secondary first language, effectively, for the system, except really it's just Cymraeg, because Drake always just is when we need Welsh. Drake will sit in CoCon and provide translation and a certain amount of confidence, because it's hard not to be confident when you've got a big red fire-breathing dragon sitting next to you on your side, even if you know that fire-breathing ability, or even being a dragon in any way, shape, or form, doesn't translate out into the real world. It's still a comforting thing to have around. Okay, we got Cleaning, who's very well known about, unfortunately, other than actually gets any like housework and stuff done for the system, which is really helpful. Admittedly, it's probably basically a trauma response, and we should probably do some work figuring out who Cleaning is beyond just, oh yes, the useful one that does housework. Sorry, Cleaning. And we've got Fall Off. They Fae pronouns. Fae is basically the, as we've written down, bullshit from the system. They can turn what is a relatively boring, dull, quick, short answer to a question into the sort of writing somebody wants to hear without actually ever explicitly lying about anything, which is a very helpful skill for various reasons, from job interviews, obviously, even just earlier on in job applications, uh, coursework often at university. Faye was helpful for, and just generally, they've been helpful dealing with our what's the best way to put it? The ones that raised us, I suppose. Yeah, that's a reasonable way to put it. Okay, right. That's a brief on current known members. There's more. We know there's more, but no information about them is really available. So there we go. Like, I know there's more. The system knows there's more. Brain probably has more information about them all, but Brain won't provide more information about them all because Z is rude sometimes. Couple extra bits. Didn't know where to put it. Could have put it in history actually. Oh well, too late now. We're traumagenic, as you might have guessed from the number of trauma holders we know about already. Probably TPMC as well. No confirmation on that. But it seems reasonably likely based on what knowledge Red Sphere holds, basically. Can't currently get into the inner world. The inner world memories are blocked currently from front access. And yeah, those last two are basically waiting on Brain to loosen up a little bit because Z is currently holding back a lot of information from front access. And we know why they are doing it. It's basically to ensure stability for from front for front, which has its advantages, especially given current, stability has advantages. Clearly, it's admittedly a false stability built on hiding important things, so it's not great, and I want Z to loosen up, and let us have a little bit more access, but that's not currently happening, so there we go. We'll see what they do on that, and what we all do on that later. Okay. Right. That's the that's the that's the video for now. So thanks for watching. Catch you all next time. Yeah, there'll be a next time. We'll put more videos up, I'm sure. Even if I'm the only one who does any of it. See how that goes. Leave feedback in the comments, or if you're on a Discord server with us on the Discord, so that'd be great as well. like, subscribe, all that sort of thing. Yeah, that's Sphere System.